Hello everyone! Welcome to the second part of You Are Scaring Me challenge. Finally, we are getting to the story-wise more interesting ships, let's say. The ones you've been definitely waiting for. But yeah, let's get into some mystery solving, shall we? As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You are keeping this channel alive and going, thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. As much as Suna wanted to mess with Osamu that day, it became clear really quickly he had less than zero chance of coming up with something his boyfriend would scare him with. Sure, his knife handling skills were scarily awesome, but that didn't count. The only thing that scared me was that Christmas incident. He shuddered at that memory, shaking his head to chase away the image of Osamu lying motionless on the snow and the days in hospital that followed. No need to bring that up again. Then what am I supposed to? Rin! Suna flinched, realizing he almost cut his finger in his inattentiveness. He gave Osamu a sheepish smile, earning a sigh and an eye roll. You can't space out when you are using a knife. I know. Sorry. Lucky I have you keeping an eye on me, huh? Osamu frowned at him, but it was obvious he was worried rather than upset. It made Suna's heart flutter, despite the reminder he was in the kitchen because Osamu was forbidden to work for 2 more weeks. That said, the whole situation was strange. They still hadn't figured out what caused the overcharge that sent Osamu into hospital, despite several visits from the electrical company's technics. And on top of that, some other strange things started to happen recently, making Suna wonder whether the troubles were just the tip of the iceberg. Almost as if something they didn't see or know about was put in motion in order to mess with them. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. I'm just thinking. He put the knife down to be sure he didn't end up cutting his finger off for real, and settled opposite Osamu to the small table. Osamu, apparently feeling the shift in his mood, immediately captured his hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. What's on your mind then? I don't know exactly. Maybe I'm overthinking stuff. Rin, even if, you can still tell me if it bothers you. What is it? Just as he said that, an alarm from the back door went off, blaring at the whole shop. Suna sprang up, gently pushing Osamu back into the chair before he rushed to the back door to check what the issue was. But as usual, he couldn't see anything. The door was closed, nothing changed in the storage. The only weird thing was the alarm turning on for seemingly no reason. He turned it off before they both could go deaf and returned to Osamu, getting welcomed by the same solemn expression he for sure wore himself. Again? Yeah, nothing. He slumped back on the chair, unable to help the chills creeping up his back. What did you want to talk about before? This whole faulty electricity and the other stuff going on. It's weird. A deep sigh escaped Osamu's mouth. Yeah, I don't think that's overthinking. I don't know what's happening either. It's kinda creepy, isn't it? Mildly put. They fell silent, each with their own thoughts but keeping their hands linked as an anchor. Let's keep an eye out from now on, I guess. Yeah, But be careful, okay? No actions on your own. Sure. There was something about the bar being quiet that unnerved Taichi. Not that he didn't have work that night, but having so few patrons around felt strange. At least Hayato was here with him tonight, though if he was about to hear one more cringe pickup line, he might reconsider. Why can't you just tell me what you want normally? Hayato grinned at him, apparently more than content with himself. Where would the fun be? Come on, I'm your husband. It's my duty to lovingly embarrass you. Taichi wasn't so sure about that. Though, thinking about it, it was no different than from before they got married, which calmed him down. It seemed like his worries about their marriage causing some shift in their relationship were baseless, and he couldn't be happier about it. Maybe I could stop by more often. What do you think? Huh? Why? Why not? I like watching you work. Soft smile curled his lips, though Taichi didn't miss the unusual look in his eyes. And I can keep an eye on you like this. Before Taichi could ask why would that be needed, Hayato gulped down his last shot and got up, flashing Taichi a wide grin. Hold the spot for me, would you? I'll be right back. Confused, Taichi just nodded, for a while following Hayato with his eyes before returning to his work. It seemed like the half-empty bar wasn't the only strange thing that night. Tens of different reasons for Hayato's statement flashed through his mind, some harmless, like just a simple worry about his workload, to scary ones like distrust. He couldn't recall whether he did give Hayato a reason to doubt him, but when it came to emotions and affection, he was even more useless than with other things. Did he maybe let something slip that made Hayato cautious? Hey there. He snapped out of his thoughts, turning after the somewhat familiar voice. Oh, sorry. Your usual? The man grinned. You know it. It's pretty empty here tonight, huh? Taichi just shrugged and focused on mixing the drink, his mind too preoccupied by worries to lead small talk. He handed the drink over and flinched when the other grabbed his hand. How about I keep you company then? That's not necessary. Please let go of me. Despite his plea, the man continued to grip his hand, a smile that made Taichi shiver on his face. Why though? I'm just offering you nice company. He already has a company. The man hissed when Hayato gripped his forearm, judging by his twisted expression, not holding back even a bit of his strength. Hands off, asshole. Ow! What the fuck? What's your issue, huh? You touching my husband when he told you not to, for starters. Shudder ran through Taichi's body when Hayato gripped the guy even harder, the display of the raw power in his grip making him nervous, despite knowing Hayato would never use it on him. The other gritted his teeth and tried to pry his arm from the iron grip, but without success. Fuck off! I found him first! Yeah, unless you knew him in junior high or earlier, I have dibs on that. Hiya. What's going on here? The man's eyes almost lit up, the immediate shift turning Taichi's stomach. He just grabbed me. I wasn't doing anything and then this guy came and assaulted me. That's not... Didn't you miss something? Like you grabbing Taichi when he explicitly told you to let go? Is that so? In that case, I'll ask you to leave before I'm forced to call the police. What? Are you serious? I'm sure you understand that safety of our staff is just as important to us as our clients. Since you are making my employee feel unsafe, I'll ask you once again to leave. All smugness gone from his face, the man bared his teeth but stayed quiet, only throwing Hayato a glare. And Taichi could swear he hadn't seen anyone looking as hateful at him as this man since he last met with his father. Are you okay? Huh? Oh, yes, it's fine. A much more pleasant touch sent jolts through his skin, making him realize his hands were shaking. Is this why you said you'll keep an eye on me? Yeah. I noticed him when I was here before too. How he stared at you like at a piece of meat. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have left. Unsure what to say, Taichi just shook his head and returned a squeeze of his hand. Glad his worries weren't needed after all. Though... You are scaring me sometimes, you know? Really? Yeah. With your strength. You should be careful with yourself. Hayato smiled softly at him, leaning over the bar for a kiss. I'll gladly break bones if it keeps you safe. Your own? Or someone else's? Both. At first, Kenji's mind was occupied solely by finding something he could use to do the challenge without risking worrying Aona with it. At least worrying too much. However, the longer he watched his usually unexpressive face scrunched in something he unfortunately recognized as anger, he started to wonder if he shouldn't rather clear out the space. They hadn't said much to each other since Aona came home about an hour ago, and while that wasn't anything unusual, the silence sent chills down Kenji's spine now. And on top of that, it brought back memories of the nightmares he suffered with some months ago, and which he definitely didn't want to go back to. It's fine. He's not upset with me, right? Right? I didn't give him a reason to be. Unfortunately, even repeating that several times didn't help to ease his anxiety. Should I say something? Maybe he just needs to talk about it. Or it's going to make him even more upset. Still, the tense silence was straining his nerves. He couldn't go like this for much longer, even if it meant angering his fiancée further. At least he would know where they stood. Nobu? Is something wrong? The only answer he got was a deep huff. Before he could ask further, Aona got up and headed to the kitchen without as much as a glance in his direction, sinking Kenji's heart deeper. After a moment of hesitation, he got up too, following after Aona despite the voice in his head telling him to leave it be. Come on, at least tell me if you don't want to talk about it, but don't leave me guessing. He jumped, unable to suppress a startled yelp when Aona slammed one of the cupboards closed, his heart hammering into his chest. Okay, got it. I'll leave you alone. Just don't break the cabinets. He quickly cleared the room, shooing away the memory of last time something like this happened and what followed, and settled in the living room to get some paperwork done. He was pretty sure he wouldn't be able to focus on it anyway, but he had to try. He could at least pretend to do something until the storm passed. However, before he could take the first file, a gentle tap on his shoulder turned his attention behind his back, his heartbeat speeding up again. Sorry, do you need space? I can take it to the office, it's fine, No, sit down. Please. I'm sorry. No, it's fine, no harm done. I didn't start it yet, so... Not that. For before. He motioned around with his hand as if he wasn't sure what to say. No trace of the previous anger in his face. Instead, he looked lost, and to Kenji's surprise, also guilty. Oh, that. Yeah, it's fine. He let out a shaky chuckle, realizing he could startle more than he initially thought. You just scare me sometimes when you get like this, and I don't know why. Auna's face fell, the mix of emotions on his face stealing Kenji's breath and voice for a moment. He couldn't recall ever seeing Aona like this, not even when he was worried. This was different. This was fright. I'm scaring you. I mean, it's not that horrible. I know you wouldn't do anything to me. I just got startled when you slammed the cabinet door and... yeah. For a while, neither of them spoke, and then Aona slumped on the couch, looking absolutely destroyed. Unable to hold back, Kenji shuffled a bit closer, instinctively rubbing Aona's back to help him settle. I'm sorry, dear. I'm so sorry for scaring you. I would never lay a hand on you, I swear. A small smile curled Kenji's lips, the tension falling from him as he ruffled Aona's short hair. I know. You're too kind to do that. Still. Hey, how about this? Next time you're upset, tell me what's going on so I don't have to worry, And then we can talk about whether you want space or not. Aona watched him for a moment before he almost hesitantly cupped Kenji's cheek, bringing their lips together in a feather-light kiss. Alright. Ever since the strange call, Tendo felt like a cat on a hot roof. He tried to call Ushijima a few times again the same day, but as none of the attempts went through, he decided to wait for some time, hoping his fiancée would call back. And yet, even now 2 days later, he still hadn't heard a word from him. What's going on? He never left me hanging, not like this. What happened? Unfortunately, all of those remained as rhetorical questions, as the only way to get answers was to actually talk to Ushijima, which didn't seem to happen anytime soon. I should probably just call him again. At least try it, just in case. Maybe he just had a lot to do and forgot. Yeah, that's it. Definitely nothing serious or dangerous. He desperately wanted to believe that. He turned the open sign on the store door to close for a moment and went into the back of the shop, grabbing his phone along the way. It's fine, Toshi's definitely fine, nothing to worry about. Still, he felt the familiar nervous knot forming in his chest as he dialed his partner's number. The line beeped several times, and then, unlike before, the call went through with a click. Toshi? Yes. Hello, Satori. Oh, thank goodness. Are you alright? What happened? Why didn't you call me the whole time? Do you know how scared I was? There was a short pause on the other end, during which he heard only mumbled sorry and some rustling, before Ushijima's voice became clear again. I'm sorry, I had to put the phone to my other ear. Force of habit. Tendo furrowed his brow, confused. Force of habit? Yes. I usually hold the phone to my left ear. I needed to switch. Wait. Hold on. Switch? Why? Actually, take it from the beginning. What was that call 2 days ago? You sounded so weird, I felt... You scared me. I'm very sorry, my dear. You can be sorry by explaining what happened with you. He swallowed hard, trying to get rid of the lump in his throat. You never missed our call day. Not once. Why now? And why didn't you call back? I'm sorry for that too. There's a lot going on. I have time. Please explain. Once again, the dreaded silence settled between them, only later interrupted by Ushijima's deep sigh. I didn't mean to scare you, I swear. Unfortunately, you called when I couldn't really talk in a way that would make sense. It's not the best time now either, but I suppose you deserve an explanation after I hurt you. You didn't hurt me. I'm just so confused and worried as heck. I'm sorry. It's because I'm not feeling well. I haven't for the past week or so. Tendo froze, a dozen of dark scenarios flashing through his mind. He forced himself to remain calm, however, only squeezing a towel in his hand. What's wrong? I fell during practice. The doctor said I have a strained wrist, but that isn't the main problem. It's the vertigo. Vertigo? Yes. My balance is off and I can't walk without feeling dizzy. Even standing makes me sick. And I stopped hearing with my left ear. That's unfortunately what you called into before. The ground swayed under Tendo's feet, his mouth drying out. No wonder Ushijima sounded so weird. Even the noises he heard around started to make sense. Do they know what it is? I mean, what's causing it? No. They are still running some tests now to determine that. That's all I know right now. Taking a few shaky breaths, Tendo forced himself to not start panicking and instead to think of what to do. He couldn't leave his partner in a hospital alone, especially if he was this unwell. Though he was quite sure Ushijima would be against that since running the shop needed a lot of time. Not that Tendo cared about that right now. Are you upset? No, of course not. I'm worried, sure, but I'm not mad or anything. I'm glad we could talk about it. Okay, well, I'm not going to hurt your head any longer. I'm sure you need loads of rest. But call me if something new comes up, okay? Don't keep me in the dark. I promise. Thank you, Soter. For what? For understanding. Of course. Now rest, okay? Talk to you soon, my miracle. The call ended, leaving Tendo shaking, but at least he now knew what was going on. Determined, he shook off the bad feeling settled in his chest and opened the search engine, looking for the earliest plane tickets to Warsaw. Again and again, Kindaichi tried to figure out what was going on, but as before, he came out empty-handed. Something was wrong. He needed just one glance at Kunime's haunted face to know that. But that was all he could figure out since Kunime just wasn't talking to him. Just kept looking for something. If he just told me what he's looking for, I could search a house for him while he's at work. He was confused and quite frankly scared. Scared that the thing taking an obvious toll on Kunime would continue, turning his beloved into a shell of himself. He had to do something, even if it meant pressing Kunime for answers. I just hope I'm not going to make it worse. Before he could delve too deep into overthinking his plan, he was returned to presence by the main door shut and closed. Determined, he got up with a quiet hiss and made his way towards the hallway, meeting Kunime in the middle. Hey, everything alright? Kunime stuttered as if he didn't expect the greeting, his eyes darting around like he was looking for an escape route. He looked horrible, Kindaichi realized, his eyes red and with dark circles under them shining against his pale skin. If exhaustion and despair had a baby, it would be Kunime right now. Yeah, everything is fine. Why do you ask? You don't sound fine. You don't look fine either. What's going on? Kunime pressed his lips into a thin line and clenched his fists, though Kindaichi didn't miss his eyes glossing over. He felt horrible for pushing so much, but it was for both of their sakes. They couldn't go on like this. Not for long. Sighing, he crossed the distance between them, laying his hands on Kunime's shoulders to show support, as well as prevent him from running away. He didn't miss the flinch running through his body though, nor the suddenly panicked look in his eyes. Please, tell me what's wrong. You are scaring me, love. Scaring you? Yeah. You haven't been yourself the whole week. You look exhausted and almost don't talk to me. You just keep looking for something. I want to help you, but I can't if you don't tell me what's going on. They stayed unmoving for a while, which felt like a whole eternity, just looking into each other's eyes without a word. And then Kunime's eyes flooded with tears, broken sob tearing out of his mouth as he slumped forward into Kindaichi's chest, trembling and clenching his hands on Kindaichi's t-shirt as if it was the only thing keeping him upright. I can't. You will hate me if I tell you what... He got interrupted by another sob, the sound and the words breaking Kindaichi's heart. He wrapped Kunime in a hug, squeezing him tightly. Never. I could never hate you. Nothing you are going through would make me hate you. What are you so scared of? Pressure started building behind his eyes as well when Kunime looked up at him. Looking so small and frightened, Kindaichi wanted nothing else than wrap him in soft blankets and not let go, ever. You leaving? Why would I leave you? I have no reason to. Yet. Aki, I'm begging you, tell me what's going on. If it's something between us, then... No, it's not. He took a shuddered breath, the inner battle clearly visible on his tear-stained face. It's not between us. Not now. But it will be. I don't think I follow. His lower lip quivering, Kunime held his gaze, though it was clear he wanted to look elsewhere. His voice was barely above whisper when he spoke again. I might have to cheat on you. The floor swung under Kindaichi's feet. Surely he heard wrong. This couldn't be. Cheat. Kunime cowered as if he expected a hit, yet he kept clinging to the fabric of Kindaichi's t-shirt in clear despair. Kindaichi led him, too preoccupied by replaying the words in his head. He did hear right. There was no mistake. The damning confession was as real as the two of them were. However... Wait, I have to. Kunime nodded, his face twisted with pain beyond physical. I don't want this. I tried to find another way, I swear I tried, but... Wait, shh, breathe. I don't understand. What does that mean? I can explain, just... Please hear me out. Please. As gently as he could, Kindaichi covered his face, carefully wiping away the wet trails from his cheeks, while a bad feeling sank his stomach like a cold rock. I'm listening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I have a feeling you'll love me after that ending. And yes, I did that on purpose. Yes, it's because I want you to look forward to the one-shot that's coming up for Kinkuni. Not sure when. However, I will have some free time next week, so hopefully under 2 weeks. I know it doesn't count as much in my case, but I will do my best, I promise. And there's a big story to unravel, so if you have any guesses before we actually get to it, leave it in the comments, I'm curious. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!